Good. So I'm going to show you my very simple process how I start basically from the beginning. Well, I'm not gonna edit the entire thing today. I'm just going to show you the very simple process, the very beginning of my editing. And it's super simple how to kind of put images together, but I do want to stress one thing. When I photograph, I usually like to photograph, and I will tell you why. I will give you the two reasons. I like to photograph in a around the same time, around the same conditions, whether it's sunny or cloudy, and then with the same camera setting. So last time, well, I just came back from Rome, from the summer house, from Easter break, and it was super windy, and it was so cold that I think I've done self-portrait shoot in less than half an hour. Maybe it was half an hour, maybe it was max 45 minutes, but it was literally in the speed of light. So I don't have an idea just yet as of the entire image. I'm having just a kind of like a sketch in my head, but there are two things that I want to show you. I'm going to begin the process of creating one of my images. So I'm going to use lasso tool right now, and then I'm going to mask, and I'm going to use a paintbrush eraser. So I have my, as you can see over here, of course I will be looking to a side because this is where my second screen is. Oh, by the way, I adopted two bunnies, so hopefully yesterday they came home with me, so I'm hoping that soon they will be well enough and used to me so I can show them to you, so they can sit here and edit with me. So I'm starting with a background photograph that I have, and that's this one. I have this background. This was like a very, I don't know, kind of self-made, homemade swamp, I guess. Over there at the summer house. I'm not really sure. There were a few very interesting not places, but just kind of like these small things added there to the property. And one of them was this. It doesn't look like much, but when you would look from an angle from how you're actually looking at that'd be like just a couple of I don't know, 3-4 centimeters of kind of like a I don't know, a hole. I suppose was a little bit wet, a little bit nasty. But normally I would just go ahead and lay down in this one, but because it was cold and very windy, although the cold doesn't bother me as much as the wind does, I didn't want to. Sorry, just my computer is acting. I didn't really want to lay down in this one because I didn't know how long I would be shooting. But okay, so I have been babbling already 3 minutes. So I have my background. So this is the let's say the mini swamp, and I have chosen. I mean, my idea is that I will be laying down somehow on the background, because what I have in here, this is me just on the plain grass, and it doesn't really do much for me. So what I will do is I'm going to let me just maybe start from the beginning. Here I have a lasso tool, so what I of course would do is I click on it, and now just trace it. There's one thing that I should have done, and I should have showed you, and I'm going to do Control-C, copy it. You can of course go into File and copy it, and I'm going to come back to my original image, which is this one. But we have here a background, yeah, just background. So what I would like to suggest, so you can work indestructively, is just to go Control-J, and then duplicate your background, and you can call it whatever you want. I never call anything other than those layers, because I don't really need to remember these things, because I remember them already, and I can easily check my last what I've been doing last. I know that there are tutorials on the internet, on YouTube, that they tell you, you know, let's call it background. Let's go, and it's all for you to work better. So if you, for example, do a retouching of the face or a body, then of course you can rename it. But I don't particularly need that. I'm quite okay remembering what I was doing. So I have my layer, and I'm clicking with my mouse on my background, and I just go Control V, and voila, and this is me. And now what I will need to do, I need to erase everything that is green in here, the grass. And of course, at the beginning, you don't need to be so so detailed, because we can always fix everything in post-production. So let's get that one. So we have our layer, and what we want to do is create a layer mask. That's how you're going to be able to work in it. So what I do, I have this kind of like a little square with a window, as you can see, and that's your layer mask. It's already, this doggy popped out, and you can of course always click on it, and it will tell you exactly what it does. You can watch a quick tutorial video, but yeah, we need a layer mask, otherwise we won't be able to erase or add later what we're working on. So we have our layer mask, and remember, if you want to work on the image, and of course it's not the image that you need to click on, it has to be the layer mask. It has been, but I just kind of sort of clicked away. And then we're gonna go to our brush tool. You also have these right in here, two colors. There is a foreground, and then you have a background. So that means the foreground, which is me on this photograph, is the picture that is on the foreground. We will be erasing that picture to match the background. And if you would want to, for example, if you make a mistake, then you can always click on that right over here. Can you see? Yeah, you can see. And then bring back the background, and then bring back the bring back bring back what you have erased, so the foreground. So remember that black hides, that was not what I clicked. We cancel that. Somehow my my computer is acting a little bit up today. Okay, so now we have this. We have our set. We have our foreground set to a black color, and then we have our layer mask. We click on our layer mask. We can of course zoom a little bit in, and then on this side, on your left hand side, you have something like a brush tool. You left click the brush tool, and of course you select brush tool. This is what you want. And you can see already I have this circle. I would like to go, it's set for 70%. I would like to go a little bit higher, so it's easier for me to work a little bit on it. And remember that soft round brush at the beginning is the best choice. And now that we have it, we can start erasing. Okay, your opacity has to be at 100% and the flow at 100% as well. Why? Because with just one stroke, you will be able to erase everything at once. If you had your opacity and flow set for, like, let's say 20%, it's a very good tool when you, for example, you would want to add specific texture either to your skin or to your dress or to your trousers, whatever. And then And then you would like to just kind of erase a little bit, but not everything. But we want to erase everything. Sometimes it's even recommended just to go as low as at 1% or 2% opacity, which I have done many times before. And you just edit a little bit longer, but at least you have that general idea of just how much you actually want to erase and how much you want to keep. So let's do that, and then we're going to erase just all the grass, pretty much. Let's just go here. This is pretty much how I start erasing. Now, if you can see, when I go a little bit further, then you can see the brush is soft. You can see just how much around is softer, and if I would set my brush to a hard brush, or like hardness, let's say to 100%, then you can see just how much it erases. So that's why the soft brush is always best, because then you can always adjust your brush, and then you can already see right over here that is could even erase a little bit one more, but then you can always go a little bit down on your brush and you can start erasing. This image is okay because the grass can blend in. Am I here at, oh, I'm still at 100. Okay, now let's just go a little bit closer. Even if you go a little bit on, you know, the dress and everything or whatever, you can always, again, you can always reveal your background. Sorry, I keep clicking on it because I want to show you. You can always reveal the background by clicking on the arrows, and you can see that the background is coming back along with the dress. But that's not what we want. We want to go back to our foreground and just kind of erase everything that it has been all around. And again, you don't have to be that detailed in the beginning, because we are going to come back. Like over here, you can actually pretty much see that it's a little too much, so we're gonna reveal that. But again, if you know something happens with your clothing, with your dress, then it's not a big deal. By just reducing a little bit your brush size and the hardness of your brush, and how you're going to, of course, to however you might want, you might need, then it's going to be just fine. You can pretty much fix anything. Now we're going to coming to the tricky part where it's my hair. I'm gonna do a little bit, just a kind of a quick job. For me, the hair is very important, and I cannot see it very much, but if you know something will be cut out, then it will be cut out. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay, I might have too many programs running in the background, and so it's pretty much how I begin every photograph. I try to figure out, you know, what I want to be and how I want to have it, and erase the rest. And so this is not doesn't have to be so detailed right now, because we can actually redo it later. So probably I will redo it when I finish this live. Hopefully. Hopefully I'll redo it. Some leaves over here. And of course here in the dress and here. And again, I erased a little bit from my elbow, but again, it's just to kind of show you how, some sort of blemishes and everything like that, that will also be removed, and you can do it right on the image in here. You can create a smart object, which is when you know that you're finished, but I wouldn't recommend you creating a smart object. There are many tutorials that tell you convert into a smart object, and I'm thinking it's the worst thing you can actually do is to convert into a smart object, unless you know that you're actually finished with your image in a way that it will be very distracting to very distracting not to convert into smart object, and you would find it better to work when it's actually converted in a smart object. Okay, and I think that's somewhere around here. I'm not sure about the little, no, I think that's it. Okay, so this is approximately, so we had this image, we pretty much had a background. Let me zoom out a little bit as well. So we pretty much had a background, and then we added ourselves. And that's about it. And it looks amazing. And this was me. This is where we started. So you can congratulate yourself because you've done a great job. And then, of course, if you would want to move the person, your subject, then sorry, you go. My computer is just so slow. Then you can go to edit and then transform, and then scale, rotate, skew, distort, blah blah blah. Or you can just click over here, right over here, and then you take me, or I take me, and just kind of move it wherever I want it to, whatever I want to. It's also a nice way to check if you have done all the job by erasing things like that, things from the foreground. I've already noticed that there is one thing that I haven't erased, and that's going to be fixed, because when you start moving the person, the subject, then you can see that other things are also moving as well. It's sometimes very difficult to see when you have how much you have erased, because the texture is so similar. Because the texture is very similar, and it's not always easy to spot unless it doesn't bother you for whatever reason. Unless you're okay with that, then just leave it, because you're still gonna edit that later anyways. But I would suggest to just remove as much as possible, in case later you have to go back and do some touch-ups, and yeah, then you'll be trying to find those small things. So this is basically what I always start, and how I always start. I use a lasso tool, and then I create a layer, place my subject on the background. We have background and the foreground, and then I just use a brush tool. First I create a layer mask, and then I just erase the foreground as much as I don't want, whatever I don't want to have. And that's about it, and then we can create some other things later. So I hope it was somehow educational and not too difficult. Trust me, Photoshop is not it can be your friend, and you can create amazing things in it. So until next time.